Hello, welcome to the Medium Games Finals between Cvuu and Snowbz. I am Shaunahan, and I'm joined by H-Roll,
Howdy.
and we are going to commentate. It is the first player to reach 3.5 wins, so hopefully we get a nice tight match here. Both these players won their group stages, so I think it should be a pretty evenly matched game. So it's like a cargo ship opening, I think, huh?
Yeah, like a lot of games.
Yeah. Can you do cargo ship Night Watchman? And then buy a butcher turn 3 and put it in the cargo ship. I don't know if that's good or not, but that's what I'm looking at immediately.
Right. Yeah.
Something like junk dealer turn 3 could also be buying a junk dealer turn 3 and then playing that immediately seems okay too. But I feel like the butcher is going to give more value.
Yeah.
Um,
What would you be taking? Caravan?
Silver caravan. I don't really want
Or-
anything. I don't want really. I mean, you. I guess you play with some silvers, right? But I think you can build a big. You can use villain cargo ship. I mean, I guess you only have a couple of villages, but villages are very expensive, I guess. But um, you might even play with Witch's Hut. That doesn't seem clear to me. So you probably do want like a couple of treasures, silvers or golds, even if you're doing city quarter stuff, just to get enough payload. Um, but cargo ship Night Watchman seems nice because you can guarantee get that butcher on top of in your hand for turn 3, and maybe butcher an estate to a silver.
This is a single buy board. Am I?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Um, but I feel like with butcher you can do some stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, so I feel like the caravan's just not doing very much for the deck. Even if which best case you see it turn 3. If you don't see it turn 3, you're kind of sad. Um, and neither player hits 5 on turn 3, so neither player will have a butcher in the first shuffle, which I think cargo ship Night Watchman lets you do. But
Well, technically, it wouldn't be in the first shuffle,
yeah,
but
but the
yeah.
the it would be in the third shuffle, but the shuffles would be very quick. Um, I don't know. I've had this problem IRL where I trigger a shuffle with 2 cards in the shuffle, and how do you convincingly shuffle 2 cards?
I think you put them face down and you let the other person pick. Okay, so Steven picks up a junk dealer.
Yeah, I just feel like if this was a butcher, we could butcher a state into silver, by a caravan, maybe by a silver. Um,
Well, Snowbz would have collided.
yeah, we happen to draw all the estates, so we're not hitting 5 again, which is sad. If you drew some coppers, you could hit 5 and get a butcher right away.
Yeah,
Um,
more Caravan. Hmm.
yeah, I mean, like real carriage plus butcher plus city quarter, I feel like you can generate a lot of coins very quickly and have a lot of control over the province pile.
Yeah,
That's a nice scout.
I like building.
I feel somewhat, yeah, I feel somewhat strongly that I want butcher as my first 5.
I would definitely want one by now. Yeah, because Snowbz took another junk
It
dealer. I think they both have two, right?
because I really don't want to be junk dealering my estates. I want to be butchering my estates into 3 and 4 costs to get that value, um, that coin value, that extra 2 coin value that you're kind of giving away with junk dealer. And then the butcher is going to be better in the long game, obviously.
Yeah.
This is a good spot for Cvuu to pick up a butcher as well.
So,
The city quarter is just not doing very much quite yet.
not yet.
Um, I guess I'm going to keep saying this is a good spot for them to pick up a butcher.
Yeah. Soon they'll turn the junk dealers into other nice things.
Yeah. I think you can play with like one villain probably for the coffers, and the coffers work nicely with butcher.
It is an annoying attack against city quarter that there's cargo ship and caravan.
Yeah, and then I guess you also want to grab like a real carriage or two, which you can play on Butcher or you can play on City Quarter in a pinch. And um, I think the cargo ship's time has come. I would have considered butchering the cargo ship there into a caravan, maybe buying a real carriage. And Cvuu now is, yeah. The problem is they don't. They're getting thin. They're kind of running out of food for the junk dealers and food for the butchers, both of them. Um,
Yeah.
I think this wants to be a royal carriage for Cvuu. Snowbz's got the awkward draw where you just kind of have to play the city quarter before you play the rail carriage, but you've got the rail carriage down for next turn.
You might use it on butcher.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's fair. Um, we can butcher estate into something, and then we can butcher copper into something. Was cargo ship errated? Cargo ship is just gain, right? So whatever you butcher, you can.
Yeah. I don't think that's an errata though. I think it's always like that.
Okay. Yeah, fair. So you can play butcher twice and butcher the estate into a 5 cost. Interesting. I think now you save it and I don't know. The deck is thin. Like the deck's doing stuff. Are we already in time for a villain? A second rail carriage? It seems like Snowbz's got pretty good deck control here, and is ahead.
I don't think you want another terminal yet. That's too many terminals, right?
Yeah. So then I guess I would say I would take rail carriage because you can play it as whatever. You can play one as city quarter and the other one as butcher.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking to like play one junk dealer next turn, butcher the other one. Maybe even into province already. Or villain and play villain a couple times. Cargo ship, that's interesting. And more city quarters. I very much like rail carriage over city quarter, the debt issue, and also you could have the rail carriage down, so when you have awkward hands like this that Snowbz has drawn.
That's not an awkward hand. They have another city quarter set aside.
Oh, they've got both the city quarters. Never mind then. So we can play city quarter and then rail carriage. And I guess you don't want a green here. You want to build up coffers rather than green here, right? Because of city quarter draw.
That sounds right. And so you can, I guess it's like you save them all up and use them all on the same turn with multiple butchers.
Yeah, over 2 turns
Yeah.
you butcher caravans and junk dealers and stuff like and silvers into provinces and the second to last turn, and then the last turn you butcher, whatever into provinces. And there's even a deck that lives in debt here and doesn't use its buys. If all the money is coming from villain and butcher, but that feels a little bit.
I don't really. That feels weird.
I just like decks that stay in debt forever. That's a fun.
Yeah, but you're not actually gaining cards, so the value.
So, critically here, we have to pause and consider our play order, because we might want to draw whatever we gain with butcher here. So, like, I would consider butchering junk dealer into villain here, and then playing city quarter, caravan, and we can play the villain this turn. I guess we can also play the junk dealer and caravan. Like, there's a couple play orders here, but I think that should be the plan. To butcher a junk dealer into a villain feels like the best card.
Is villain better than butcher? Oh.
I think I want 1. The attack feels like it's going to be just annoying enough that it's worth it.
I guess so, yeah.
I mean, there is quite some advantage to. Do we royal carriage the city quarter?
That did happen, yeah. It does let
Why?
it does let her play all her cards, but I don't know.
We could have done that anyways. We have one action left at the end.
Right, but that was because we added two actions from a royal carriage city quarter. Right?
I mean, we could have also royal carriage and killed one of these cargo ships. We don't really need three cargo ships, I don't think.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred that. Yeah.
Um,
I think one per turn's good in the city quarter deck.
yeah, I think for me this is another royal carriage. I feel
Yeah.
like our risk of dudding is incredibly low, given our deck is almost entirely actions. All we have to do is, and we're drawing six cards. So unless we draw cargo ship, butcher, royal carriage, um, yeah, we're gonna draw a deck pretty trivially.
Caravan. I know about that.
I don't.
Yeah.
It, the one Lodge Brine Caravan is it's a card we can butcher next turn that used all of our coins without using our tokens.
Like the maximum value.
But we're gonna use the tokens anyways, so I don't know. I feel like Snowbz was quite a bit ahead, and they're not as far ahead now. Although they've got the royal carriage to me is a huge gain, and like the fact that Cvuu has got more coppers doesn't really matter. They can just play their junk dealers more unless they happen to dud.
Also lower on card. Sorry, no card.
Yeah, I would consider they're playing the play order. The last junk dealer didn't draw a card, so we could have butchered this silver into something. Like we could have butchered. We could even like butcher a copper into royal carriage at this point, and then play junk dealer to draw it, and gotten it down for next turn, or another butcher. I feel like Cvuu could have done a little bit more on this.
Yeah,
turn.
I think another butcher sounds good.
And again, if we butcher the cargo ship or we butcher the junk dealers, we've got stuff we can butcher, and we should be looking, I think, gain and play here as much as possible.
Oh yeah.
Because we're single gain turns, right? So every time you can gain some, butcher is single gain, right? So you're changing the card to something else, but the number of cards in your deck is not increasing. So looking to, play two butchers in a turn, build up the coffers, lets you ramp up the deck really quickly. We can also just play the butcher here and buy. We've got so many coffers. I guess I want to do copper into something now.
Two vibes. Or gain one.
Yeah. Royal carriage and maybe a second butcher. And we missed out on playing at least one of those. I kind of like the idea of having gained a royal carriage and getting it down for next turn, but maybe that with how thin the deck is, that's unnecessary.
It just seems like it would have been better.
So we could have just gotten a butcher and had two extra coffers at the end of this turn. Cargo ship, huh?
And royal carriage. Well, the deck control's complete at least.
Yeah. All right, as Snowbz here, I really strongly want to butcher some of these cargo ships now. We've got a royal carriage down, so I would consider doing like butcher, cargo ship, junk dealer into royal carriage and butcher. And then
Draw the city quarter.
yeah.
We can gain one more card and draw the caravan.
Yeah. Somehow I also want to draw the royal carriage on top, but I'm not seeing an easy way to do that. Oh no, city quarter will draw them both, but we can't then royal carriage the city quarter for the action back.
Right.
Um, we can go junk dealer into butcher and then city quarter, royal carriage it, and then we've got enough actions to play a villain, a cargo ship, and the second butcher on. Yeah, we can even butcher the second cargo ship into something. This is complicated. Uh, you can really maximize these turns, I think, and having more engine pieces and more coffers in the bank gives you more control. And I think we already said this feels like a touch early for provinces.
I want to start when I can like get 3, maybe.
The Caravan did not draw a card, so we can allow. But I don't really see the point. I just want of playing the second.
I don't think they did anything. I think she just played it again.
Yeah, I don't see a point to playing the second cargo ship. I want to spin that cargo ship up into a 5 that I can do something fun with.
Mm-hmm.
Still, double provincing is, Cvuu kind of has to double province here if they want to stay in the game, right? The one advantage, of course, to having the second butcher is with royal carriage and 2 butchers, you can mill 3 provinces and buy a province potentially and win the game as Snowbz, and we don't have a second butcher now, so we're so like double provincing here feels necessary for Cvuu, I guess. But
oh wow, they royal carriage the junk dealer this turn.
That they forgot to play the royal carriage before the second city quarter, I think, and they wanted actions.
Oh, I see.
And I mean they're gonna get to double here as well. So now Snowbz has to figure out what the angle is, because Cvuu is threatening to like mill.
Just like province, duchy. Right?
Yeah, province, duchy should be safe. Assuming you can get around to that, and I think you can. We have a couple cards set aside, so our starting hand is pretty sizable.
I think. Can you province, mill province, buy province? Is that better?
Probably. Either way, I want to butcher province into province, butcher cargo ship into province, play villain cargo ship, buy province.
Okay.
Is that short? Are we short 2 money for doing that?
We might
5 coffers, 0. I believe we're short 2 money from doing that.
Oof.
So, I mean, but we could butcher villain into province and play 2 cargo ships and buy province. So that line would be butcher province.
Yeah, at least it's 1 coffer.
Royal carriage, butcher villain into province. We've got 2 coffers left. I'm confusing the math. So after playing butcher, no, the original.
No, I think yeah, because the province gives 2.
Right, and then you have 2 left over after butchering cargo ship into province. So then for Cvuu tie, they need province plus double duchy, which seems tough. Actually, that's not even a tie, right? That's a loss as player 1. So I think, if you can get the double province duchy line here, that feels also safe. But it feels a little bit easier to win next turn with the double province mill province line. And I'm not immediately seeing how we can double province duchy here. So we'll see, based on whether they call the royal carriage here, what they're coming up with. If you call villain twice with royal carriage, it doesn't make any sense. There's no reason to.
Like, that's worse than Butcher.
Yeah, there's no reason to ever call villain with royal carriage, right? Unless you've played governor.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Or if they keep discarding trails.
yeah, this is a good order, because you kind of get to see all the money
That's true.
all at once. Like, I mean,
And the info.
in
for it.
theory, one should. Yeah, in theory, the like you can count. You should have counted it out before you played anything, but in practice, it can be nice to do this order. So yeah, if we butcher province into province, we have 7 coffers, and if we butcher cargo ship into, okay, interesting. I was not expecting that. And we leave the royal carriage down. We buy a province. Is that safe? Well, now that I've looked down and seen Cvuu's hand, it's pretty safe. Although I guess they draw a card with Caravan. But I think the line we said, province into province, and then cargo ship into province by province, you have exact money for that, I think, and Cvuu's really got no outs, and all you have to do is find a butcher next turn and win.
Mhm.
I assume we don't trash anything here and just... we could go silver to duchy, but then we don't have enough for province. Very interesting. Leaving 4 provinces down.
Or
I don't know. Yeah, I mean... Can Cvuu...
so
Yeah, I don't really see something Cvuu can do here, right?
you take province duchy, maybe?
But tripling now seems within the realm of what Snowbz can do with 6 coffers down.
I mean, I don't think you play that, right? Well, let's see.
Yeah, so we can butcher... I mean, if you don't take any provinces, it seems like it's going to be tough to win.
That's true.
But then again, because can Snowbz triple in mill? Maybe not, but they could, doubling in milling seems... Plus a duchy... I don't know. I think Snowbz had a pretty clear win if they took the line we said. This has complicated matters, certainly, depending on how risky Cvuu plays it.
Deck is better if this game keeps going. Are they about the same?
Yeah, Snowbz has an extra cargo ship. No, this cargo ship crashed last turn. Snowbz has an extra butcher now,
Okay.
which seems pretty useful. Milling 2 provinces and gaining 2 actually seems not very difficult for Snowbz, given the 2 provinces in deck. So if you royal carriage butcher, you turn 2 provinces into provinces, and then you've got 10 coffers.
Yeah, so you need one more butcher play.
So one more butcher play can
Yeah.
turn anything villain into province, and then, or depending on the order, you can redraw the province.
Mhm. Yeah, you might do 3 mills and spy.
Yeah. Which is, I think,
Because
why
you-
we wanted the butcher 2 turns earlier, but the second butcher earlier. But
Mhm.
it's a good end game decision if you don't see a win, picking up the extra gainer and putting yourself in a position to win. And it's not like Cvuu can naturally take 3 provinces here without milling.
And he can take 2, but losing to double province.
And I think
I mean, maybe that's your best play here.
take 2 and
Like,
hope they can't get
Dou-
double.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on how they've analyzed Snowbz's deck. Do they think Snowbz can mill three and buy one? You kind of have to start with City Quarter in hand, which they're seeing 6 of 11 cards, so it's like 20% to not have two City Quarters in the bottom five. Um, is it worth it? Is Cvuu less than 20% to win here if they take a single province or no provinces? Maybe. Because the question is, if Snowbz duds anyways, then we can kind of do very little this turn as Cvuu and plan to win next turn.
That's fair.
Whatever win next turn means. Well, I guess the question is, even if both City Quarters are bottom decked and a Royal Carriage, like they've got two Butchers, Royal Carriage, two City Quarters, so like Royal Carriage plus Butcher by itself is enough to double province with 6 coffers already. I think. So unless you bottom deck both City Quarters and the Royal Carriage, and potentially both of the Butchers, it seems like
That seems rough.
yeah. I mean, we could mill a province here and buy one, and
That
then we've
seems
got a
not
9 point
bad.
lead, and it's kind of annoying, but
I
that's
mean,
you just have to
actually, that's easier. Yeah.
any
Sorry.
Butcher find wins the game. So um, we can also just leave the Royal Carriage down by a duchy, and
Yeah. Snowbz has a butcher set aside to cargo ship, so it's not
oh yeah,
possible to miss that.
uh, yeah, missing both. Yeah, yeah. So this seems pretty. Yeah, I think Cvuu's probably as they suggest cornered, but it's the finals, so worthwhile trying to explore your options here. Figure if you've got some kind of out or what your solution might be. Unfortunately, I think for them it looks like it's going to be not enough with the two cargo ship with the two City Quarters in hand. Uh,
I mean, this is a lot of points to get, but should be doable. Yeah.
6 coffers down already, so
That's true.
and we can just spin villain into province.
Silver and yeah, and then
Villain into
buy the
province,
state.
Royal Carriage into province by estate. Yeah. We have by duchy even. So nicely done by Snowbz there. Wins the first one. And has a 1-0 lead going into first player in game 2.
Yeah. Congrats.